Well, after the outrage over two young girls being arrested for a Facebook post on Thakre comes the news of this. Two Air India staffers arrested by the cybercrime cell of the Mumbai police for their posts on Facebook for sharing it with jokes about politicians and making what some say were derogatory remarks against the Prime Minister, outraging the modesty of women and insulting the national flag. They say that they were merely sharing content that is easily available on the internet, but they spent 12 days in police custody after being arrested under, well, what else but Section 66A and 67 of the Information Technology Act. And one of them, in fact, Mayank, Mohan, Sharma, the cabin crew with Air India, is now joining us. Mayank, thanks for speaking to us. We will just get into details of those posts. But before that, were you ever explained why you needed to sort of stay in jail for 12 days? That seems like an enormously long time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Basically, that was the biggest surprise for us. See, on the early morning of Friday, 1:30 a.m., the cops just rang the doorbell and forced themselves in because they were in CVs with two guards less with the semi-automatic weapons. And me asking them as a stranger that who are you, please identify yourself, they were not replying anything but just staring. But because the two other cops were in uniform, as a law-abiding citizen, I opened the door, and after I opened the door, they forced themselves in.
Right.
No information what is the complaint about, which police station they have come from. You know, they were just staring. Right. My wife was there, my 2-year-old son was there, and after that, because I was in night dress, I asked them that if I could change. So they said, yeah, go ahead. But that gentleman, Mr. Dinkar Shilvate, followed me to my bedroom and said, yeah, I said, excuse me, I need to change. So he said, no, you do it in front of me. So it was like something, as they say, if you can't resist rape, enjoy it. So somebody in uniform. I get your point there. But if you've said that we've tried to, we've sort of heard your story. We've tried to get responses from the police. We haven't managed that yet. But coming back to your post, and of course we don't want you to get into details of those posts on air on the channel tonight. But would you say that they were offensive? That they could have been seen as derogatory? Could have been seen as off color, even if there weren't enough reason for you to spend 12 days in jail? Of course not. Of course not. Before I answer your question, ma'am, there is one question. This to everybody, all the viewers, especially the cyber experts. You must have seen the copy of the FIR. The complaint was lodged a year back. Right. By a person, a politician, Mr. Kiran Pavaskar. Now, ma'am, the question here is that all the alleged blogs, posts, whatever it is, they belong to a closed group. Which is exclusively meant for the members of Air India cabin crew fraternity. Right. So obviously it was someone within that group. Right, man. There was obviously someone within that. Yeah, it was restricted to the bona fide members of the Air India cabin crew fraternity. Right. Now, can anybody, Mr. Pavaskar or the cops from the BKC Cyber Police who had investigated this complaint for over a year, never summoned us even once, can anybody or even the associate who had filed associate of Kiran Pavaskar who had filed this complaint on his behalf can explain that how Kiran Pavaskar was a cabin crew member. Fair enough. Mr. Pavaskar, of course, isn't here. Mayank, I'm sorry to interrupt. When it was a closed group. Mr. Pavaskar, of course, isn't here, but you're right in questioning the timing of this. What response have you got when you raised this with the authorities? No, ma'am, authority in this case was the cops who brought us overnight. Right. Without any information. And to whatever we were saying, they just asked 3 questions. Have you posted this? I said, yeah, we have posted this. But this alleged offense is not applicable. From which angle this image appears to be the national flag to you? Right. Ma'am, that's what I'm saying. Our first contention was that it was a closed group. Right. Even if it was a national flag, what business Mr. Pavaskar had to go and complain and meet additional CP, joint CP. Just 2 days back he himself has confessed. Right, and of course the focus also beyond sort of these personal perhaps
Bhushan, the bigger focus also, of course, on how the IT Acts, especially Section 66A, is being used and misused as well. We've heard the government say that it's not the Act itself, but the way it's being applied that needs to change. That debate, of course, raging. But Mayank, thanks very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us this evening. 12 days in jail, in police custody for those posts on Facebook, which some say were lewd. No, says Mayank. But of course, is this taking things too far? That's the debate that carries on.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.